What if your dog could suddenly start speaking your language and fly off while wearing a red cape? Well, chances are that he must have met with Superman's dog Krypto and been influenced. Most of us just want our pets to love us and maybe listen once in a while, right? Well, Krypto's got that. And a whole lot more. He's not just smarter than your average dog. Honestly, he might be smarter than you. No offense, but don't worry, he's not the kind of dog that bites unless you really deserve it. With Superman making a comeback in the 2025 movie, here's everything you need to know about his flying, tail-wagging sidekick. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
He came to Earth from outer space, and his name is Krypto.
Who is Krypto the Superdog, and where did he come from? Krypto the Superdog is Superman's loyal canine companion. Created by writer Otto Binder and artist Kurt Swan during the Silver Age of comics, Krypto first debuted in the 1955 issue of Adventure Comics number 210. He was introduced as part of Superman's extended lore, adding emotional depth and a wholesome element to the otherwise mostly cosmic story of the Man of Steel. Krypto's story begins on Superman's home planet Krypton, where he was the pet of the baby Kal-El. Before his father Jor-El was forced to send his infant son to Earth, he had built a prototype rocket to test space travel. He sent Krypto the dog inside it as a test subject. However, due to meteors, the test flight didn't go as planned, and Krypto's spacecraft drifted off course by almost 10 years. Meanwhile, in another spaceship, Kal-El landed swiftly on Earth and had grown into a teenager by the time he was reunited with his long-lost companion Krypto the Superdog. Much like any Kryptonian descendant, Krypto also developed superpowers such as super strength, heat vision, and flight. Some of his abilities were even more enhanced than Superman's due to his natural canine instincts. During the Silver Age, he appeared frequently in Superman's adventures, being a beloved member of the Superman family. But the 1980s reboot, Crisis on Infinite Earths, changed everything. DC decided to shift towards a more grounded storytelling, and Krypto's character was discontinued. However, by that time, he had already carved a special place for himself among the fans. This led to his return in the New 52 and Rebirth timelines with added emotional significance. In emotionally charged storylines, such as Superman's deaths or departures, Krypto's bond with his master resonates strongly with readers, offering a sense of constancy amid the cosmic turmoil. He's also starred in his own animated series, Krypto the Superdog, along with live-action appearances in shows like Titans. Though once sidelined in the pursuit of grittier stories, Krypto has endured as a cherished icon in the DC universe. He reminds fans that even the strongest heroes need companionship, and that sometimes a superdog can be just as heroic as a Man of Steel. Why is Krypto much more than just a pet? Much like our planet Earth, Krypton had also undergone a parallel evolution through which analogous species like cats, dogs, and birds were born on the planet. Due to Krypton being a planet with a red sun and a much higher gravity than Earth, any of these animals would have developed superpowers under the yellow sun and lower gravity of Earth. That's how Krypto developed his powers. But beyond his raw physical abilities, there's also his extraordinary intelligence, which makes him special. Unlike ordinary dogs, Krypto is blessed with Kryptonian physiology, which grants him enhanced cognition. He is shown to comprehend human language and even follow precise commands. Krypto can really understand human speech, and once even interacted with his human owners, Kevin and Andrea, in the animated series Krypto the Superdog. While reacting to complex scenarios, he can recognize strategic solutions, such as defending allies or confronting threats. In some continuities, he's also shown to use telepathic abilities in order to communicate. His intelligence depends upon the requirements of a particular DC storyline. He can be seen to be highly strategic and mature in some, while in others, he can just be childlike, playful, and emotionally aware. Writers depict him as either a sharply intelligent canine or an emotionally aware friend, but rarely just a dog. In some stories, he's even said to possess almost human-level intelligence. Krypto utilizes his superior intellect by acting as a psychic support system for Superman. His role as an emotional anchor and a loyal confidant of Superman is clearly visible in Superman Birthright, and especially in the later parts of the Lois and Clark continuity, where he's often seen present during key emotional scenes, quietly comforting Superman. With this psychic support system, Krypto has proven to be much more than just a sidekick of Superman. What powers does Krypto have? Super strength. Krypto is not just a good boy, but also a strong boy. He can lift heavy objects and tackle enemies with immense force, even defeating multiple armed enemies on his own. He even helps Superman fight against alien threats. His bite is so powerful, it can even rip through steel. His strength makes him valuable in combat situations and even emergencies. Whether lifting debris, knocking down villains, or saving lives, Krypto's strength shows that being small doesn't mean being weak. Flight. Is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, it's just Krypto flying at supersonic speeds. Much like Superman, Krypto can cruise through the sky with his signature red cape trailing behind him. He flies regularly to patrol the city, chase villains, or just fetch something from far away. And not only that, Krypto can perform aerial maneuvers that would make fighter jets jealous. In intense battle scenes, he often uses his flight to deliver fast, high-speed attacks from above. His incredible speed and agility also helped him respond quickly to danger anywhere on Earth or even in space. Heat vision. Krypto is blessed with one of the most iconic Kryptonian powers, heat vision. He's capable of cutting through metal or knocking down enemies just by shooting laser beams from his eyes. While this insane power has been shown more playfully, like warming up a bowl of food in the child-friendly versions, heat vision is a pretty serious weapon for any superhero. Using it, he can destroy traps and melt weapons while also fighting off monstrous enemies using laser blasts, scorching enemies from a distance. Krypto's heat vision is highly precise and powerful, used for both combat and emergencies. X-ray vision. Krypto can see through solid objects thanks to his X-ray vision. This makes him an invaluable asset in rescue missions or detecting concealed threats. In Krypto the Superdog, he is shown to use X-ray vision to find trapped animals behind walls and locate villains hiding in secret spaces. In the comics, Krypto uses this ability to act as a scout during battles. Even from far away, he can assess any situation and inform Superman. He can also locate any hostages with ease with his X-ray vision. Super hearing and smell. We all know how a dog's ears and nose are extra sensitive, but you won't believe the incredible distances from which Krypto's ears can pick up sounds, sometimes even across continents. This ability lets him detect distress signals from across the city instantly. He can hear cries for help from several miles away and rushes to the scene before anyone else can. This power also helps Krypto to stay one step ahead of danger always. Super breath. Krypto's breath is so powerful that he can use it as a weapon, blowing enemies off their feet. In a cold climate, he can unleash a phenomenon called freeze breath, which can instantly cover enemies in ice. In comics, Krypto is seen using this power to defuse explosives or even put out fires in crisis situations. Invulnerability. John Wick's dog might not be anything like John Wick, but Superman's dog is definitely nearly indestructible like him. Just like Superman is resistant to bullets, explosions, and even alien weaponry, Krypto too remains unharmed by these. The dog can take massive hits from very powerful enemies and still stand up without a scratch. He zooms through collapsing buildings and laser blasts, which shows that underneath his soft-looking fur lies the true resilience of a Kryptonian. Due to his canine instincts, his sense of smell and hearing are even sharper than Superman in some versions. He can easily track scents across cities or even identify a specific person through smell alone. We see this ability in full play in the 2020 book Superman Up in the Sky by Tom King. The Man of Steel is seen reflecting on how Krypto's sense of smell once helped them to reach a kidnapped child hiding in a steel container. This was a remarkable feat because it was undetectable even by advanced technology. Limited healing factor in some versions. In a few modern comic adaptations, Krypto is seen displaying a minor healing factor. It might not be as advanced as Wolverine, but Krypto has been seen to recover from injuries much quicker than normal Kryptonians. He can get wounded, but can also fully recover only within a short span of time. This accelerated recovery rate enhances his reliability in long-lasting battles and dangerous missions.
That dog is Superdog!
Yeah! Superdog!
What does Krypto look like? Anatomy breakdown. Krypto the Superdog has undergone a visually fascinating evolution across comics, animation, and films through the decades. His appearance has shifted across eras and mediums, but some of his visual traits remain unmistakably like the original Krypto. He is portrayed as a striking white dog, typically a Labrador Retriever or a White Boxer Terrier mix. With a snowy coat and a noble stance, Krypto instantly stands out, radiating purity and power. Whether fighting in combat or lounging leisurely beside Clark Kent, Krypto's physical appearance is a blend of a household pet with the might of a Kryptonian hero. One of his most consistent features is his costume. He's more like a miniature version of Superman, wearing a flowing red cape, often secured around his neck like a scarf, and sometimes a gold collar with the iconic S shield emblazoned on it. This touch of superhero flair is enough to remind audiences that Krypto is more than just a dog. Just like their favorite superhero, Krypto is a symbol of hope, courage, and unwavering loyalty. Even though he walks on 4 legs, his costume aligns him with Superman's mythos and firmly establishes his role in the same heroic universe. His bulky and muscular physical build complements his costume. He is built like a super-powered hound with immense strength, yet retains some of his domesticated looks. His broad chest, strong legs, and expressive eyes balance his identity as both pet and protector. Krypto is certainly the kind of dog that could curl up at the foot of your bed and then take down an alien invader the next second. Krypto was reimagined as a ghostly, wolf-like beast from the Phantom Zone in DC's New 52 continuity. He's much larger, leaner, and fearsome, looking almost like a direwolf with his eyes glowing with a haunting energy. This redesigned avatar shows his role as a supernatural protector, especially during storylines where he guarded a young Kal-El trapped in the Phantom Zone. Krypto also got a humorous makeover in the 2022 animated film DC League of Super Pets. In this version, Krypto takes on the appearance of a stocky white Labrador with exaggerated facial expressions, wide eyes, and a puffed chest. Much like The Rock, Krypto's personality is also loud and charismatic. The animated Krypto looks a bit comical, but his design is still of a caped dog standing proud among gods and aliens. In the upcoming 2025 live-action Superman, directed by James Gunn, we can expect Krypto in an even more grounded form. From what we know till now, his design is inspired by the real-life rescue dog Ozu, being white again, but shaped less like a cartoon and more like a real-life companion this time. The movie aims to connect Krypto emotionally with the audience without losing an inch of his superhero flair. Whether it's animated or comical or majestic, Krypto's personality is shaped by the story he serves. His visual style might have changed over the decades, but the core essence remains the same: a loyal white dog wearing a cape and showing courage, devotion, and the pure heart of a superhero's best friend. How loyal is Krypto? Why does he matter so much to Superman? Since his first appearance in 1955, Krypto has shown unwavering devotion and loyalty toward Superman. His sole purpose in life has been to be with and protect his Kryptonian family. This loyalty has given countless heroic moments. Krypto has saved both Superman and Superboy multiple times, often tackling the danger directly. Whether fighting off Mongol or taking on Superboy Prime with nothing but his teeth, Krypto has shown boundless courage. But you can't just measure a dog's importance in terms of brute strength alone, and more so in the case of Krypto, because he's a living fragment of Krypton, a link to the forgotten past, or Clark Kent. During a storyline involving the Phantom Zone, Superman discovers that Krypto has survived and draws new strength from that realization. Krypto's presence reminds the Man of Steel that not everything from his homeworld is lost. Krypto's emotional presence helps Superman hold on to a part of himself that even the Fortress of Solitude can't replicate. His furry companion acts as a source of emotional grounding every time he's down and isolated. This emotional connection further deepens in key story arcs. In All-Time Superman, Krypto displays amazing faithfulness when he stays loyal by his master's side until the very end. In Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, Krypto sacrificed himself to save Superman from the Kryptonite Man. It's a heart-wrenching moment for the fans, and with this act of selfless loyalty, Krypto etched a special place for himself in DC history. After all, our canine hero isn't just a dog. He's a superhero in his own right, and therefore he has led the legion of super pets fighting alongside Teen Titans, even teaming up with Batman's loyal hound, Ace. He's definitely proven his importance with his impeccable battle instincts and fierce but tactical leadership. In many stories, Krypto has actually been the difference between victory and defeat. Krypto matters not only because he's powerful, but also because he is pure. What are Krypto's key story arcs and appearances? From a long-lost cosmic friend to Superman's charming sidekick and emotional anchor, Krypto the Superdog's personality has soared through the decades. Our boy is now a pop culture superstar, but what stories have given him the cult status? Let's find out. Like we told you before, Krypto made his debut in the 1955 Adventure Comics number 210, The Superdog from Krypton. In this gem from the Silver Age, readers learn that Jor-El from Krypton had launched Krypto in a test rocket before also sending his son in another rocket towards Earth. Krypto's rocket veered off course, and he wandered into space for years before finally landing on Earth and reuniting with his long-lost buddy, the teenage Superboy. This story arc quickly captured the imaginations of readers, but Krypto was meant to be just a one-off appearance. He was discontinued, but later brought back by popular demand and got firmly nestled into the Superman family lore. In Superboy Volume 1, Super Sidekick, Krypto accompanied Clark Kent through the 1950s and 60s, starring in stories which saw him joining the Legion of Super Pets alongside Streaky and Comet. He was even briefly adopted by a Solar Boy who stripped him of powers with his solar machine in a standout episode of Adventure Comics number 269. Owing to Krypto's popularity, Cartoon Network launched an animated 39-episode series on him in 2005 called Krypto the Superdog. In this one, Krypto is portrayed as a tongue-in-cheek pup who guards Earth while making new friends and outsmarting villains with finesse. Superman for All Seasons, Emotional Metaphor. This miniseries by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale in 1998 wisely uses Krypto as Clark Kent's emotional support system. In his last year of high school, Clark's foster parents told him that they had found him in an alien rocket as an infant. They raised him as their son, and he can do things other boys can't. This was a deeply emotional moment for the teenage Clark Kent, who wasn't the crime-fighting superhero that he is now. As he evolved into a superhero, Krypto, as his loyal companion, symbolized innocence and unwavering loyalty amidst all the chaos he was going through. Superman Rebirth Era. The 2011 New 52 reboot reimagines Krypto entering Earth's orbit via the Phantom Zone. He's rescued by an adult Superman, which reawakens his powers under the yellow sun. Krypto now lives with Superman, Lois, and their son John Kent. His collar, forged from a retired Superman uniform, acts as a sentimental link within the Kent family. Krypto stands tall as the lovely and loyal companion through all major battles and losses that Superman faces. In the 2018 Action Comics number 1000, Krypto takes center stage in The Never-Ending Battle. This special edition, which is a celebration of 80 years of Superman packed into 80 pages, has 11 mini-stories about our favorite Kryptonian superhero. And not only Superman, but his loyal canine companion also gets featured, reminding fans yet again that Krypto is much more than just a cute goofball and has been an integral part of Superman's journey. While Krypto's bravado in facing dangerous criminals and aliens is well known, there is also a family-friendly version of the tail-wagging crusader. In the 2022 DC League of Super Pets, Krypto is shown as a hero saving the day. As Superman and the rest of the League get kidnapped by Lex Luthor, it's up to Superdog Krypto to rescue them. He finds a group of shelter pets with superpowers and convinces them to help him as he teams up with Ace the Bat Hound and others. In this animation, Krypto is a beloved, energetic powerhouse, portrayed cheerfully for the next generation.
Live-action debut in Gunn's Superman 2025.
Krypto finally leaps off the screen and makes his live-action debut in James Gunn's 2025 Superman film. Inspired by Gunn's own chaotic dog, Ozu, he pondered on the question, what would life be like if Ozu had superpowers? This live-action Krypto will be super interesting to watch, turning from a pet to Superman's right hand. His silver-eyed innocence, steadfast loyalty, and occasional mischief make him Superman's soul on 4 legs. Can Krypto die? Has he ever been killed? Krypto the Superdog might seem immortal, flying faster than sound and shrugging off explosions while lifting mountains with ease, but beneath the facade of indestructibility, there is a stark truth. Krypto can die, and in fact, he has died in some stories. In the pre-Crisis era, Krypto's mortality was acknowledged across various timelines and alternate realities. Some stories depicted Krypto aging very slowly due to his Kryptonian biology under Earth's yellow sun, while others explored somber endings where time or fate eventually caught up with him. These instances serve as emotional reminders that even superdogs aren't exempt from destiny. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching example of this fact was seen in Alan Moore's 1986 story, What Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, published in Superman number 423 and Action Comics number 583. This 2-part narrative is considered one of the greatest Superman stories ever, and concludes the Silver Age of Superman with poetic justice. In this story, Krypto gives his life to save Superman, attacking the kryptonite-powered villain, the Kryptonite Man. The moment is both heartbreaking and precious, as Krypto tears out the villain's throat, but not before succumbing to the fatal kryptonite poisoning him. His instinctive sacrifice shows a kind of loyalty only a dog can display, or a superdog in this case. Krypto's death was silent and unforgettable. His fate took another twist in the New 52 continuity. In the rebooted timeline, Krypto is presumed to be lost after a failed attempt by Jor-El to save Kal-El's pet before Krypton's destruction. However, eventually it's understood that Krypto was trapped in the Phantom Zone, which is the ghostly dimension used for imprisoning criminals on Krypton. He is isolated but still alive and eventually finds his way back to Superman. As we told you earlier, the Earth's yellow sun grants near invulnerability to Krypto, much like Superman himself. He can withstand bullets, extreme temperatures, and even massive physical injuries, but also shares the same weaknesses. He is vulnerable to kryptonite and magic. Even sufficiently powerful forces can surely overwhelm him. Although his durability is immense, it's still not unlimited. In the dark alternate reality of the Injustice universe, Superman turns into a tyrant after the Joker kills Lois Lane. However, in this story, Krypto is notably absent. He isn't portrayed as being dead, and therefore his disappearance is quite haunting. However, Superman is seen mourning him in quiet moments. A flashback in Injustice 2 reveals how much Krypto means to Clark Kent. In a cruel world where he has lost almost everyone close to him, Krypto's missing presence cuts real deep. So yes, Krypto can die. He has died, but every story reinforces the same truth. Krypto lives and dies only for his best buddy, Superman. Fun facts and trivia about Krypto. Krypto the Superdog even had his own animated segments called DC Nation Shorts, which aired on the Cartoon Network in 2012. These short cartoons showed Krypto engaging in quick, fun adventures. Even though the episode lengths were only bite-sized, they proved that Krypto was popular, especially with the younger fans. Owing to the fandom, several famous voice actors have also played Krypto. Sam Vincent gave him a brave and serious voice in the 2005 cartoon Krypto the Superdog, while David Kaye voiced him in the DC Super Pets project. And of course, as we told you, the 2022 movie DC League of Super Pets is voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, providing both humor and emotion to Krypto. The Rock's version clearly shows how deeply Krypto cares for Superman. But did you know that even his name is a clever play on words? It originates from Krypton, his home planet, but in some stories, the name is also used as a pun. Krypto sounds like cryptic, meaning mysterious. This tag quite fits him because he arrived on Earth in a rather strange and mysterious way. His crashing on Earth and later finding Superman definitely adds a lot of mystery to his background. But one of the most prominent facts about Krypto is that he has survived in the official DC universe even after major reboots and changes. So many other characters have been removed or rewritten during big events like Crisis on Infinite Earth, The New 52, or Rebirth, but Krypto has always managed to bounce back. No matter the timeline, Krypto is usually there. He's also been seen teaming up with other super animals like Streaky the Super Cat and Comet the Super Horse, both members of the Legion of Super Pets. And mind you, these aren't just silly team-ups, but they form a real team of animal heroes. In fact, Krypto and Streaky have a great chemistry, especially in the Superman family comics and also on the 2005 animated show. Krypto's connection to Comet ties him to Supergirl and other characters from Superman's world. Marvelous verdict. From once being a test dog aboard a spaceship to becoming Superman's best friend, and sometimes even his bodyguard, Krypto's had quite the journey. We all love our pets and wish they could do cool stuff. Well, Krypto's already got a whole list of powers. He's loyal, lovable, and when needed, he can be downright terrifying. That mix of sweet and savage is what makes him such an awesome part of Superman's story. And with the new Superman movie dropping in July 2025, here's hoping we get to see even more of this flying, caped good boy.